Hey, Segovia, back with another video. Hope everyone out there is having a good weekend, y'all. We're back with another one. We got an hour banger of some TikToks. We're running short, y'all. The ban looks like it's going to be happening. I don't know what the future has in store for us, but we're going to figure it out, y'all. That's what we do as humans. We adapt. I don't know if we're going to go to Red Note. I don't know if we're going to do Facebooks, Instagrams, YouTube Reels. I don't know, y'all. Leave me some suggestions down below what you guys think we should do. But I ain't going to sit here and talk your guys' ears off, y'all. We got an hour of some creepy TikToks that's going to make us question everything. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Has just discovered blueprints for a network of tunnels beneath the mansion that supposedly led to the homes of Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, James Caan,
Will you watch yourself on?
and Kirk Douglas. Now dig this, a photo from the late 70s allegedly showing an excavation in progress beneath the mansion. And this one shows the newly discovered tunnel plans. Check out the bunny logo on the plywood wall. Best of all, the blueprint. It says this tunnel leads to James Caan's house, this one to Jack Nicholson's, this one to Kirk Douglas's, and this one goes all the way.
We've come down to Brentwood, an extremely rich, exclusive area. At the moment, it's not in an evacuation zone, but just take a look at this. Outside these houses of millionaires, there is a fleet of private firefighting vehicles. A small army, really, standing by, ready to protect some very, very wealthy homes. Now, people have raised a lot of questions about this, about how ethical it is when schools, care homes, ordinary people's houses have been destroyed and the public fire service is struggling. Now, the fires tonight, they're not imminently threatening this area. There is a possibility the wind could blow them this way, but clearly people with millions to spend, they're not taking any chances. We've spoken to a few of the guys protecting these homes. They're really nice. They're just doing a job. You know, some of the time they don't even know who they're working for, but you can understand why people are frustrated and angry that certain areas like this are getting this special protection.
Let me ask you a question. How come Coca-Cola, made in the UK, is sweetened with cane sugar, whereas Coca-Cola hecho en Mexico is sweetened with cane sugar, but Coke in the USA is sweetened with high fructose corn syrup? Well, that's because high fructose corn syrup is sweeter than cane sugar, cheaper than cane sugar, and more addictive than cane sugar, meaning more profits for the brand and most likely more type 2 diabetes for you and me. Well, let's see if they taste the same. Cheers, mate. Cheers, bro. Ours is sweeter. Wow, it has like a cloying sweetness. I prefer the British. I'll take a spot of British Coca-Cola any day, which means I'll never have it again. But there's a difference between our Coke versus their. Why do they do it? Because it's all about money. If you want to see the difference between UK Skittles versus ours, let me know.
It's all about money, y'all. The same reason this TikTok ban's happening. In tomorrow's video, we got a lot of TikTok ban clips. It's funny how, not funny, but it's ironic how fire stuff is done. This videos were supposed to be out Friday. I didn't put a video out. I was feeling sick. So we got a little bit of fire clips, but today, not one fire clip, y'all, but a lot of TikTok bans. And we see a lot of these politicians that are involved in that court case that happened, investing a lot of money into the meta universe.
That he tore down the dams in California?
Yes.
Four dams. He dismantled major infrastructure.
Yes.
Tore them down, imploded dams. Doc.
For a green ideology.
This is fairly recent because I went to the governor's office and I found a press release from October 2024 where he was bragging that his dam destruction policy was ahead of schedule. He was elated that they were ahead of schedule in tearing down dams on rivers. We keep saying it over the years since Obama. They are deliberately dismantling the country.
Right.
And yet they do something else and we're stunned that they did it again.
That's why I say, why do they keep electing these guys out there in California? This is the way they operate. We've got a video of him talking about the dam removal.
All right, let's watch this.
largest dam removal project in U.S. history and one of the most significant, if not the most significant, water restoration project, bringing back salmon and steelhead into this basin. This project could not have happened without extraordinary partnerships with tribal nations and, of course, our partners in the North and Oregon. We just finished a celebration with the Secretary of the Interior and our tribal council and tribal leaders, and I couldn't be more proud as a Californian, and I couldn't be more proud as a father, because my kids and their great-great-grandkids will have the opportunity to see something that, well, has been here since time immemorial, and it's about damn time we got this done.
There he is. He's bragging that he was tearing down the dams on the rivers of California. And he said, what does that have to do with this? You heard that they didn't have water in the fire hydrants?
Because there was no water in the reservoirs up in the hills above LA. It had all been diverted out to the ocean to save a fish.
This is showing one of the dams being blown up. This is hard to believe that they did this.
And this is January 2024 here.
Doc,
this isn't that long ago.
If foreign terrorists blew up a dam, we would say this is an act of terrorism.
And they did it 4 times. They did 4 different dams.
The Democrats carried out acts of terrorism in the state of California.
This new earth shit, I swear, it's getting out of hand. A volcano in New Jersey. Y'all, I can't make this shit up. What is going on? There's a volcano and then it's about to erupt. Since when can we predict when volcanoes is gonna erupt? What? A volcano was about to erupt in New Jersey. That's probably why all them drones was flying around. All them drones. That's why all them drones was flying around. Huh? Had something to do with the volcano? They're probably leaving the volcano. They used the passageway and they left up through the volcano because they knew it was about to erupt. So they was getting up out of there. Am I on to something, y'all? No, I'm just playing. But I could be.
You guys cannot tell me that no one is starting these fires, because here I am chilling in my house and I hear a lot of helicopters and I smell smoke, and now this is happening. This is so random. We live behind Elysian Park and out of nowhere it started happening. Like, what is going on?
Afghanistan used to be a net food exporter. And as soon as the U.S. takes over, they're producing 93% of the world's heroin.
That's right.
I'd like to know how the fuck that happened.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to tell me. So I get to Bagram Air Base and I said, I'm going to need a helicopter to Lashkar Gah. They were like, oh, can't do it. Too dangerous. I was like, no, we're doing it, like in the next hour. So we get down there. And it's a god-awful place. But man, I'm telling you, as far as your eye can see, all there is poppy. All of it is poppy. So I said, I want to talk to a poppy farmer. They were like, are you nuts? And I said, no, I'm serious. I want to talk to a poppy farmer. So we go out to the poppy fields. We see this guy cultivating his poppy. So I go up to him and I said, I got to ask you a question, which was incredibly naive. I said, why don't you grow crops that have 2 growing seasons instead of poppy? You could grow tomatoes or onions or pomegranates. And he goes like this. He goes, the Americans told me in 2001, if I told them where the Arabs were, I could grow all the poppy I wanted. I go, what Americans told you could grow poppy? And my military handler's like, we gotta go. Bogey's in the area. We gotta go. And he physically pulls me into the Jeep and takes me back to the helicopter. I was like, okay. So I make an appointment to go to this DEA secret site. Somebody had reached out to me and said, hey, we heard you're doing this study and you might want to come out here. We can have lunch nearby. I was like, okay. So I get in my car. I drive out to Timbuktu, outside Washington, friggin' far. And there's this secret DEA facility out there. So there are 3 of them. We go out to lunch. And they were like, you're in over your head. I said, how do you figure? They're like, there are very powerful forces that want that poppy to be cultivated. And I said, why? It's 93% of the world's heroin. And they said, because almost all of that heroin goes to Iran and to Russia. And we want them to be addicted to heroin. It weakens their societies.
Almost all of it goes to those 2 places, and it's 93% of the world's heroin?
Our heroin comes from Colombia and Mexico and Ecuador.
What about the Andretta, though, getting the heroin from Afghanistan?
That happens too, but it's small scale. So I'm writing all this up.
That's so dark.
And Carrie's like, nah, we're not publishing that. And I was like, they got to him too. There was a worse episode. I get a call one day from a noted human rights activist for one of the big human rights organizations. And he says, can I see you? I said, sure. He said, I can't come up to the Hill. It's got to be at a private location. So
y'all have so dark, y'all. So dark. What do you think? What do you guys think of that? You think we're in Afghanistan for the war against terrorism? Or we were at Afghanistan for the war on drugs for our benefit?
I have no idea how much is being fed in this one picture. I'm about to give y'all an occultic ride that most people aren't even aware of. So 2 major things point out to me when I look at this picture. 1, major occultism. Why? What is she holding?
She looks
we'll
terrible.
Come back to black magic in a minute because it all fits together. What she's holding is a jester, and you may not know how symbolically powerful the jester is. In the highest rank of occultism, you'll find the Royal Order of Jesters. I can't say too much on this, so just Google Royal Order of Jesters. But why the Jester? The Jester is the only figure that could deliver bad news to the king, but they also entertained the king. Entertainers, if you will. They were basically second in command to the monarch. And they were to entertain the guests at the royal court, but they did so much more than that. And they're doing the same thing today. So with her holding a jester, let's see what the jesters do in detail. Song, music, storytelling, actors, musicians, etc. But also performing magic tricks or just magic. So they are elite entertainers that entertain the most powerful. But remember how we're talking about magic. Her new look is really starting to remind me of something. Something like this. High-class witches and warlocks are literally a servant to a demon. And what would you guess the deepest, darkest thoughts of a demon are? Their physical appearance does change because of one of their habits. So they are being awarded a jester, partaking in every form of the jester. Entertaining the highest societies of this world. But who is the god of this world? Oh, what is this? Another award? Look at the staff it's holding. That reminds me of something. Oh yeah, that's right. The same staff right here. The same staff is right here. Again, for the god of this world. And again, the god of this world. The world is exactly the same as when we had kings and queens and they had serfs and we would live on the king's land. We live on the king's land because we pay taxes on what we own. The only difference now is the jesters don't just entertain the king, they entertain the masses. And drive all the masses to the god of this world. It's quite literally the best story ever told.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What in the hell?
Am I the only person who's not really buying the story? Let me show you why. So let's start with the fact that it was shipped 33 that had the issue, apparently. Out of all ships, ship 33. In every single angle of the video we have, we see it going with the horizon and not going up and down vertically.
That's what I was thinking.
All the vertical tapes were people holding their camera the opposite way, like you can see right here. But what if I told you we've been seeing this exact type situation every month for a few months now? Like, for instance, this was the one that happened about 1 month ago, and they deemed it not a meteor shower, and it happened when all the crazy stuff was happening in the northeast United States, if you get what I'm talking about. Further, do you remember this type of stuff always popping up in the sky? Well, after Starlink came out, they claimed that every single one of these was just Starlink, even though it started happening way before Starlink. All over the place. Then we have people coming out saying, oh, there's whole fleets of interdimensional creatures on the way to Earth. So, I mean, is this really Ship 33 going straight with Horizon? Oh, it's so fast and gravity will stay up. I doubt it. Plus, keeping the same color the entire time without dimming out. And by the way, did you know that spiritual things make humans act funny? At the same exact time, a few cars drove off the bridge. A few cars off the bridge in Washington, D.C. Again, same time. Not to mention having a full moon 4 days in a row. Look at this from the launch. Do you think that this would make it into space? It's layered up with aluminum foil.
What's up? What's up?
It's pretty dope looking.
What is that?
But if something exploded, it's not going to keep going in the horizon. It's going to drop, right? It's going to just drop. What do you guys think?
This is what they call free-range chicken. You might think that there's some birds out there running around in the woods or running around the farm, eating bugs and stuff. Everything wants to kill a chicken. Life of a chicken's hard, boy. Your free-range chickens look just like this.
Yeah.
Not America look like Dubai and Germany, and why doesn't America look like Russia and Persia, and where the
China
is the money going?
Thailand.
Every single mayor needs to figure out what the they want to do before there should be grapes, turnips, vegetables, everything on the streets every day for the homeless to eat. You're making us pay for water, you son of a... You're making us pay for grapes, apples, things that God gave us for free. Ha! Ha! Da, 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 bo, sha. You will burn in hell when I'm through with you. You will not be allowed in my Father's house at all. At all. We deserve free everything. At least if you're not going to give us reparations by money, give us reparations in fruit. You owe us over $1.5 million. These subsidy checks are... So we are the hoes. And the government is our pimp. So, since we're not getting mad about them taking that percentage, okay, for taking care of the American people, okay, let's take that $1 billion and give them $2,500, and they should be happy with that because we take care of them. If you took care of us, we'd have free carrots. This ain't no mother game. Y'all owe us money.
But he's got a point. And I made yesterday or tomorrow's video already today. And I think this TikTok ban thing could be a good thing. Maybe a little break from TikTok just to see how other parts of the world live and how much they've lied to us. Because I'm seeing a lot making tomorrow's video. I mean, there's certain parts in this country where you're not even allowed to collect rainwater. Now, how crazy does that sound?
Governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down while it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance like, I've been talking with these, you know, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We've got some ideas to speculate. We're gonna have some meetings. Like, he's doing
Really?
this. Oh, show it to him, Jamie. It's so creepy because it's happening while these people their houses have been burned, all their childhood memorabilia, all the stuff for their kids, the photos, the fucking everything they have is gone. All heirlooms, you know, their mother's wedding ring, that kind of shit. Everything's burnt to the ground. And why didn't you fix that?
Yeah.
Like, it's all insanely mismanaged. And then this guy is on television talking about, real excited about that. Doing a dance in front of the burned down home that people used to sleep in, where their children would sleep in.
You know, I'm having a baby on the way on Tuesday, actually, and I'm already thinking like, okay, where am I going to put his birth certificate? Where am I going to put his social? Like, I'm going to put it with my stuff because I know exactly where it's at. So if anything hits the fan, got it, out, let's go. So like, my mind's already starting to change, but I can only imagine everybody losing everything, pictures and all that stuff he can't take. It's a sad thing, man. Sad thing that happened.
Oh yeah, so he did as well. I remember that too. I wonder if I must still have that somewhere. Let me just go and check and see if I have this video somewhere. I'm sure I do.
It's gonna get blocked.
My kids asked me, they said, you've got to ask the president, does anything scare him?
You know, well, when Michelle's mad, you know, well, when my mic.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put this up, y'all. I'm gonna take that gamble and put it up. This is
Now, I told everybody yesterday, I don't mess. I do not play around like that. That's these guys, not me. Oh, and if you're not following me yet, you flipping should be. And come onto my page as well, and tap my notification bell at the top and click all, so you don't miss none of my future posts.
So in that last video, I didn't really show it.
beautiful country out there, man.
I put my hand on those and stopped it. I stopped the vibration. It actually took about 20 seconds. It felt through the pipes as if though there was a dozer or something driving by, and there's none of that. I'm here by myself. And after letting go of it, after a few minutes, it started up on its own again. And you can tell it's not really windy. I mean, there's a slight breeze.
Just another coincidence, right?
As a 3-time United States Digital City Award winner, the City of Los Angeles has been investing in the infrastructure, the apps, and the data tools to be a globally recognized smart city. But as technology evolves, so our smart city must evolve too. That's why we have developed our Los Angeles Smart City Strategy, known as Smart LA 2028, as a roadmap to the 2028 Summer Olympics. It includes 56 new goals that use technology to transform the way we live, work, and move around LA. Check it out here. Thank you.
Like I said before, when the Olympics come, if that town is all smart cityed up, and you know they're going to throw it in our face. You know they're going to throw it in our face. They have to. They have to tell us. They have to let us know what they're up to. How are the people going to react? How are they going to react?
You raised the question of Red Note. Well, guess what?
This
if
freaking
TikTok
guy.
users flood to Red Note, they're going to face the same challenge there because it's also controlled by the Communist Party. Second, the senator's made a lot about some affidavit by some intelligence community official in some case. I don't know what it's referring to. I do know this. I've been on the Intelligence Committee for 10 years. I chair it now. I've heard the testimony of senior leaders that TikTok poses a grave threat to our national security and our people's well-being. But also know this. Third, you don't need intelligence. TikTok's own internal documents reveal the threat that it poses to Americans. The state attorneys generals have brought lawsuits to defend their people. Those lawsuits have produced documents that show chapter and verse exactly what TikTok has done to Americans. And finally, we keep hearing it's only 270 days. It's only 270 days. In 270 days, that is what TikTok will say again, because it will not have been sold. Because Chinese communists won't allow it to be sold. Because it's not just another app. It's not Instagram or Facebook or X or anything else. It
Controlled.
is a Chinese communist spy app. I yield the floor.
I have no idea what's going on, but listen to this. There's something under the ground, and it sounds like it's about to bust out. It's over here in the field.
Tremors. Remember that movie, Tremors? Movie used to freak me out when I was little.
It's been revealed why Michelle Obama won't be at Donald Trump's inauguration, saying that she refuses to be fake and join her husband's efforts to unify. In stark contrast to Michelle, Barack and Trump were seen together sharing a warm moment at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Close sources say Michelle allegedly has no plans to smooth over her relationship with Trump, with the source saying she's never been fake and she's never been phony.
How many sleeper cells do you think are in America? Like, they could be your next door neighbor. Did you guys hear about the sleeper cell that they found in Chicago because an HVAC worker went into the unit to, I guess, do maintenance or something? And she found, like, all these bombs and police uniforms and fake fire rifles, guns, fake IDs. First of all, could you imagine being this woman? Second of all, she just probably saved, like, hundreds of lives. But more concerning is how many of these things are everywhere. Like, could be your next door neighbor. Could live in your apartment building. Could be the guy in front of you at the coffee shop this morning. But, like, thank God she decided to call, I guess, the police or whoever she called after she saw it. She wasn't just like, I'm going to mind my own business. Because I know a lot of people would be like that. Don't want to get involved and just go do your job and keep going. Crazy world we're living in. Stay vigilant.
I'm going to comment about this, and I'm going to shock you. People from BlackRock are going door to door, offering to buy homes now. They say, whatever you do with the insurance company is your business. Fix what you want or don't. Here's a price we're willing to pay for your home now. BlackRock is going door to door. You think this happened by accident? The dams have been emptied by Governor Newsom for no good reason. The hydrants are empty for no good reason. LA had its rainiest season this year since the 20s. Almost 90 years, 100 years ago. It was the rainiest season, and there's no water in the reservoirs. 3 months ago, State Farm, the big insurer in LA, just happened to cancel everybody's fire policies because the governor decided not to allow State Farm to increase their prices. So people now have no insurance. Do you think this happened by accident? One thing I learned over years on Wall Street, follow the money. Who's going to profit by this? Not who's getting hurt. Who's going to profit by this? BlackRock is going door to door, making offers now for cash. Generous. They want to take everybody's homes. This is the business they're in. It's not a secret. This has been highly organized. And as I've been saying, more is coming. Pay attention.
I really want to know what you guys think. Do you think this was just natural causes, especially everybody that are in the Cave Fam from the Los Angeles area? You guys know more than we know. Do you think this was, you know, bad conditions? The match was lit at the right time, the wind, everything just equaled, you know what I mean? Or do you think they're getting ready for those big Olympics, big Super Bowl, big World Cup? Let me know down below.
How does one ground in the winter with snow? This is a great one. So what you can do, you can go outside, you get yourself a copper rod, you stick that in the earth, you get a little copper wire, you run that wire from the rod into your home from wherever you put it in the grounding, you know, in your backyard or wherever it may be, and you can just hold that. And you can sit in your house when it's, whatever, -50, if it's -50 by you, and you can ground at any given time. And this is how grounding began. There was a fellow who his first grounding device was actually outside in his backyard, and he would connect the wires into his home, and he would ground his house. And this was 1888 or 1890s, something around that time. And that's when the whole, you know, earthing and grounding first began. He was living in a place where it was a colder temperature, and he thought, how do I do this? So he just put some copper grounding rods into the earth, connected some wires, and you would just hold it. And you could ground at any given time. And this is the coolest part. Like, the earth is pulsing these beautiful, you know, 7.83 hertz all the time, which are very healing. And you can just pop a rod in, you're good to go. The other option is you can touch a tree. Trees are antennas. Like, that's what you're touching. It's a gigantic antenna. So you could touch a tree too. That's another option. There are always solutions for whatever temperature or wherever you live. There are always solutions for grounding.
How do you pre-position 120 engines 2 days before an unexpected event? Helicopters, dozers, and water tenders the Sunday before all of this happened, 2 days before. How do you plan for something that you have no idea that was going to happen? And this is for informational purposes only. I'm not making any claims. I'm not anything. This is coming directly from the governor himself. But you want to know a perfect way how to know somebody's lying about unexpected fires? You let a liar talk enough and they will trip themselves up. Look at his reaction when and right after he says what he says.
On here, we pre-positioned 120 engines, helicopters, dozers, water tenders. We did that on Sunday, 2 days before this event.
Look at his reaction.
So with respect to the future vice president, I didn't hear his remarks, but I would invite him, as I did Donald Trump, to...
I think we may have got our answer. Like, there's this to precision 2 days before all this. You put all these fire trucks, dozers. Something's fishy, y'all. Something's very fishy. And I guess we'll find, time will tell. Time will tell. Is anything going to happen when time does tell in 2028 and it's a big old smart city? I guess we'll see.
Boarding up everything.
My guess is the inauguration out there in Portland. We saw what happened in 2020 over there.
1989, do you know how much it costs to get started in America with a young family? You had the median mortgage, 2 young kids in childcare, 2 used cars, gas and insurance for that car, 1 bout of student debt in your household, power, food, phone, and health insurance. You'd pay $2,291 a month. That would be $27,492 a year to get started in America. The median household in America that year, since you asked, was $30,056, meaning there was a surplus. Zach, what's a surplus? It means the median household made more than what it cost to get started in America. So what happened this year? Well, what happened this year is the expenses increased, as does inflation. So in 1989, the cost per month to get started with a young family in America was $2,291. Do you want to know what it is now? Based off the same metrics I told you about earlier, median mortgage, 2 young kids, 2 used cars, gas and insurance for that car, 1 bout of student debt, power, food, phone, and health insurance. Per month, you'd be paying $7,368. At the end of that year, you'd be paying $88,416. You want to know what the median household makes in America? $74,580 before taxes, meaning there is a deficit now of $13,836. That the median household in America would need to make $13,836 more dollars to get started with a young family in that same country. You cannot tell me the next decade for this country with this financial path looks good. How? For the first time in 40 years, you can't afford on a median household income to raise the next generation. Something
Things are getting crazy. You're going to want to see this.
You've said that the devil runs Hollywood.
I did say that.
Yes. Still believe it?
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Didn't we just have Christmas?
Yes.
What were the films that premiered for Christmas? Name the titles you can think of now.
Carry On.
Right.
Which had a Christmas backdrop to it.
Right.
But I can't really think of any actual Christmas
and then
films.
Nicole Kidman's film came out. Baby Girl, I think it's called.
Okay, yeah, I
not
missed
a
that
Christmas
one.
movie.
No,
it's not a Christmas movie.
No, you're not really seeing Christmas movies right
you're
now.
Not really seeing.
Yeah.
And then
There's
Nostradamus. What is that? Nostradamus. Whatever.
Yeah.
I can't even say it. It's so evil. If you look at the marketing for the new Christmas vampire movie, Vlad, see where I'm going with this, guys? See the new Christmas vampire movie? If you look at the advertising for that, it doesn't say devil. It never says. It says, darkness. And, the principalities of darkness. And,
Oh, and there was a Christmas movie, though, Dear Santa, which revolves around a kid accidentally writing to and summoning Satan due to a spelling error. We're exposing evil out here. Follow for more Kingdom content.
The only thing about a bear, when you skin them out, they look like a human being hanging there.
Yeah, it's creepy when you skin your first one.
Yeah.
Feels a little close to home when you take the fur off of them.
Well, yeah, they do. They look like a human being when you hang them up in a tree. We used to coon hunt, bear hunt, cougar hunt.
Yeah.
We used to go up Medellin Falls area, chase bear half the night. Or half the day.
Yeah.
I shot my first bear up there in Medellin Falls area.
Were you scared?
We were used to shooting wildlife, and it didn't bother us.
Yeah.
The dogs would tree them, and we'd get them.
How interesting. A news reporter in LA just revealed that LA might take a bold step in reshaping its future by changing its zoning laws to limit single-family homes as a part of the LA 2.0 rebuild. Developers may soon be allowed to replace single-family residences with duplexes and apartment buildings, paving the way for a modern smart city. How weird. I guess the plans for Smart LA 2028 that were written in December of 2020 seem to be taking shape so effortlessly. Gavin Newsom, of course, has publicly stated that he will not change zoning laws, but he has proven to be a stone-cold liar on more than one occasion. So what do you think? Coincidence or something more? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Crazy things happening in the world right now. A man is trying to get his priceless collection of 6,000 bricks into a museum. A man was arrested after stealing almost $400,000 worth of cheddar cheese in London. The US Copyright Office has now made it so McDonald's has to legally fix their ice cream machines in an appropriate time. American Airlines is testing technology that audibly shames you if you try to cut in line. A Wisconsin pizzeria has apologized after customers accidentally got high because their pizza had THC in it. A man who went to the doctor complaining of indigestion had a live cockroach in his intestines. An employee's homemade meal at a Maryland seafood distributor caused mass food poisoning. Pizza Hut is offering to print resumes on boxes and deliver them to potential employers. An Ohio man was forced to cancel his credit card in order to escape his gym membership fees. Endangered bees are what's stopping Meta's plan for a nuclear-powered AI data center.
Freaking alien. Right there. Look at the orb.
There's something there.
See the orb right under it? Watch, keep watching. Look, it's still there. What is that? What is that underneath there? What the hell?
It caught up with me, and I got a little depressed. It was tough for me for a minute, just readjusting to being around the people that care about me, getting that love that I shut out for a long time. Like, I shut out love. I didn't want love and affection. I wanted to be in this lonely place as long as I could in order to kind of capture the essence of what Eric, Stevens was, what Killmonger was. So when we wrapped the film, I'm like, in my mind, I was like, okay, cool, go back to, regular life, get back to LA, it'd be cool. But it was a little tough for me at first to kind of like accept it.
It was hard just to lay him down and be done with it.
Yeah.
Did it take you a while?
It took me, I don't really know exactly when I came out of it, but, I went to therapy, I started talking to people, started unpacking a little bit,
I find that so interesting. I find that so interesting because I think the body doesn't know the difference.
Y'all, this is absolutely crazy. This dude was in the woods and he started hearing all these crazy, bizarre noises happening under his feet. I really wonder what could be under there. If you know. Anyways, I haven't seen the whole video yet, so we're about to watch it right now.
No idea what's going on. But listen to this. There's something under the ground.
Sounds like a helicopter.
It sounds like it's about to bust out.
I'm telling you guys, life in the 21st century is crazy. And at the same time that this is happening, people are hearing explosions all over the place. Pretty bizarre, right? There's a whole bunch of inner Earth stories of all different people saying they went inside the Earth and other stuff happening down there that I can't really say. One thing is absolutely certain. I don't really think any of us know what to expect for this next year. Goodbye.
Because he says to people, he goes into boardrooms and says to people, which I will never say, is he says, it's important for me to be a billionaire, because black people need to be billionaires. And why does specifically he, at that time, I've had this conversation with white money people when they go, it's important that Jay-Z becomes a billionaire. And I go, why? And they said, because he wants to open up a casino. He wants to open up this. He should have an alcoholic brand. He needs to have a casino. He needs to have this. And you're like, why the fuck does anybody need a casino? Like another fucking casino
prints money
in this
all day,
world.
and it makes it very possible for people to launder money all day.
Yeah. So like, why, even the fact that you want to become so powerful, then you're not saying because he needs to build schools for black people in black neighborhoods. It's because he wanted to build casinos for black people.
For them to keep wasting their money, and then for him to keep
Yes.
giving them overpriced merchandise.
What casinos do.
It's a rat trap.
Yeah.
All of it is. The sad part is that hip hop has now turned itself over to this greed machine and doesn't realize it's time to unplug. It's time to unplug.
Yeah, so in terms of...
First of all, how many fires are there and where did they come from?
The important thing to know is that the National Weather Service put out a fire warning on January 2nd, and a local weatherman actually forecasted on January 1st. They said we're headed towards a super dangerous moment. The next day, the National Weather Service Los Angeles held a briefing to underscore that point. The day after that, the mayor flew to Ghana. I mean, it's crazy. On the 1st or 2nd, the governor should have called out the National Guard. He should have called all of our neighboring states. He should have called Canada and Mexico, asked for all their backup help. They should have started circling C-130s that are, especially retrofitted with that can dump the fire retardant or water. They should have had helicopters circling to see where the fires were. It should have been immediate mobilization.
Have you ever wondered what that white coating is on your blueberries? If you're not sure what I'm talking about, take a look at this blueberry here. It's got that whitish hue to it around the outside. If you were to take your finger and kind of rub it on that blueberry, you can kind of see that that whiteness comes off. Well, that's something that the blueberry produces called bloom. So think of bloom as the blueberry's natural way to protect itself against a variety of things. It's kind of a waxy substance that helps the blueberry to seal in moisture and keep out excess that it doesn't want around, which helps to prevent fungal infections from taking hold. And it's also a natural preservative, which is why after you pick your own homegrown blueberries, you want to leave as much of that white, waxy bloom substance on there. Don't wash your berries right away, because they'll be able to preserve themselves naturally for a pretty good amount of time.
I'm here in the Nag Hammadi desert. This is the approximate location where in 1945, a farmer and shepherd named Muhammad Ali, not that Muhammad Ali, a different Muhammad Ali, while looking for fertilizer with a number of his companions, uncovered a large earthenware jar. That jar eventually was discovered within its contents a number of key proto-Gnostic and Gnostic writings from the 3rd and 4th century. Chief amongst its contents was what we now refer to as the Gospel of Thomas. The Gospel of Thomas and the other documents within the Nag Hammadi library would start to change the landscape and the conversations about what we have in our Bible and whether we actually have the right books to begin with.
I want us to see what was going on in China. And if you don't know, head on over to Xiaohongshu and check out those grocery hauls. Red Note. Go to Red Note and check out their grocery hauls. And if that's not a slap in the face for you, look at how much they spend on healthcare. Look at how much they spend on rent. We looking like a big joke in America. And if you want to get technical, somebody that just started using Red Note from America asked one of the Chinese people to tell them a joke. And you know what they said? Americans think that they're free, and we're really not. That hurt on every type of level that can hurt on. Are you serious? It makes sense now why they want to ban apps, why they don't want us knowing certain things. Look how these people are living over there, and then look at us. And not saying that that place is better than over here, because I wouldn't say so. But what I'm saying is, look how we have to go so hard over here. Minimum wage is how much? $7.25. Who can live on minimum wage in the United States? I'll wait. We don't own no land in the United States. Shit, we don't own anything in the United States. Scrolling through, seeing another video. This guy said he is spending $80 a month for rent. 80 United States dollars a month for rent. Oh, man. Yeah, this shit is way bigger than a TikTok ban. Way bigger.
Yeah, like remember during the 2020 time, right? I'm not going to say the word, but they had people out there supposedly getting burned, and seeing these clips for tomorrow's video, I think a lot of people hopefully maybe start standing up, making some changes, because we're the ones working the sweatshops, not the Chinese. Or so that's how Red Note comes off. Have you guys downloaded Red Note and scrolled through it a little bit? I haven't. If push comes to shove to get some content out to you guys, I will. But has anyone downloaded the Red Note and is messing with it? Let me know down below if you guys have.
I'd like to thank Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, I smell bacon.
You had the guts, the courage, the commitment.
Some breakfast coming up, y'all.
You also break my heart with your uncensored passion.
Harvey and Bob.
And Harvey and Bob Weinstein.
Thank you, Harvey Weinstein, for putting your heart behind this film and shining the light on this. We really like to share this with you.
My friends at Miramax for making this film, especially Harvey. And,
Harvey, thank you for killing whoever you had to kill to get me up here today.
And to Harvey Weinstein, the tough guy on the playground with the biggest heart. Thank you for saying you do anything for your friends, and you always do. Thank you.
Thank you, Harvey Weinstein.
I want to thank Harvey and Bob Weinstein.
My agent, Kevin Uvain, and God, Harvey Weinstein. The Punisher,
Old Testament, I guess.
Especially the bomber Weinstein, my godfather.
I would like to thank Harvey. Thank you to Harvey.
Harvey Weinstein for his commitment.
And to Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein and Lawrence.
He's a kindly, wonderful, gentle man that we all deeply love. His name is Harvey Weinstein. And we do love you. And this is a good man. People don't know that, but he's done a lot of good things in life. They'll write an article about that someday, too. New Yorker.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
You did it. I didn't. You did it. Shut the fuck up.
Jamie Foxx just literally exposed himself. He was doing an interview with Cameron Diaz when she asked him a question about the Illuminati. This man said he don't believe in it. But body language do not lie, y'all. This man could not keep his hands still. Not just his hands, he couldn't even keep his eyes still. This man was looking all over the place. To the left, to the right, his hands was fidgety. He even looked at Cameron Diaz for validation. Then he had the nerve to say, if I was in it, why did I just get pulled over? Take a look at this.
Tell topic. The GOAT spirit is the Illuminati.
You do believe in it or you don't?
I don't believe in none of that shit. I don't think none of that shit. Especially the Illuminati shit is only us. Like, how are we not benefiting from it? Crazy. If we're supposed to be running this whole thing, how the fuck I get stopped by the cops the other day?
Was I tripping? Or was he extra fidgety talking about that topic? His eyes was everywhere. Y'all seen it for yourself. So tell me what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
How much do the people have to suffer or be struggling in our own country for our own country to be like here? And how are we electing these people that aren't saying, here, America, we're going to help you first?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's totally outrageous, man.
How is that happening? I just don't understand how it's happening.
Well, I mean, I do think perhaps it's kind of like what you said earlier. Like part of this is that we have just like acquired such a level of wealth and power as a country that it's almost like, the politicians who now control the tax base of the American people, they feel like gods, where they're like, we can do all of this stuff. I mean, I remember when and I think this was sincere. I think Joe Biden actually heard and understood this question and had a moment of being lucid. But it was when the war in Gaza first broke out, and some reporter asked him, and was like, they were like, well, you're all in on this war in Ukraine. You've already given them hundreds of billions of dollars. And now you're saying you're going to support Israel. Like, are you sure America can take on another war that we have to foot the bill for now? And he goes, of course, this is the United States of America. Of course we can do it.
Who said that, Ricky Gervais?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, sorry.
Yes. And I'm sure in some way Joe Biden believes that, like Joe Biden is a child of the unipolar moment after the Soviet Union collapsed, and America is dominant.
We can do whatever.
We can do anything. This is America. We can do whatever we want to. It's like you just haven't updated this script because it's 30 years later now, and no, we can't just do whatever you want to.
I think a lot more people are going to start. A lot more people with the big audience are going to start having this type of conversation. Like, why aren't they, not giving us, but like, why aren't they helping us? Why are they helping? We see how other parts of the world are living, and we're the ones that they're telling us how they are. No, that's us. And I think a lot of people are going to start waking up, especially if this TikTok ban, y'all. I'm telling you, I picked up that vibe on making tomorrow's video. Like, a lot of people are starting to, that seed that's been planted is starting to bloom. It's starting to bloom, y'all. And I think maybe some changes might be coming. What do you guys think?
You just came up out of the water. Bro, what in the world is that? It just came up out of the water. It's just hovering there, bro. That is so crazy. Bro, they're here. They're fucking here, man.
Yeah, can you hear it?
Yeah.
How does that sound?
I know, we laughed.
It won't let me hold my camera still. It's just hovering over the water. What the fuck is that, man? What is that, eh? They're here! They're here! It's not doing nothing. Oh, it's like you just came up out of the water. Bro, what in the world is that? It just came up out of the water. It's just hovering there, bro. That is so crazy. Bro, they're here. They're fucking here, man.
Yeah, can you hear it?
This is just beginning in California.
Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, Miley Cyrus. She's lost 2 homes.
Socialite Paris Hilton shared on social media that she's lost her Malibu home.
Mandy Moore, who lost her home in Altadena, shared her feelings on Instagram. Honestly, I'm in shock and feeling numb for all so many have lost, including my family. Meanwhile, Billy Crystal and his wife, Janice, lost the Pacific Palisades home they had lived in for 45 years.
As you know, where I live is on fire right now. Literally the entire city of the Pacific Palisades is burning, and...
Paris Hilton says she watched her home burn to the ground on live TV, while Matthew Perry's home has been engulfed, and Harrison Ford was forced to evacuate.
Nope, this is not all. We're getting another blizzard to the south while our environment is flooded with electrons. And we can see the aftermath of these electrons around us. But we'll get right back to that. But we have some models that are literally calling for 16 to 20 into the snow. This Into Thin Air's post, he's usually right on point. Last time we saw all the snow over here, but this time it's centered on the Carolinas. Back to our electron map. For some reason, the whole atmosphere is flooded with electrons. I wonder why. But you can actually see this in the real world with the manifestation of volcanoes and earthquakes. Oh, what? We just had an earthquake in Virginia? No kidding, huh? I wonder what could be doing this. And this is just a very small part of anything collaborative evidence. Because like I mentioned recently, everyone's having night sweats. Out of nowhere. And again, just like the last one, it really does seem like this is going to come to pass. And with it being 20 degrees below the normal temperature was at 10s, maybe 20s. Also, with more snow coming, I wonder what kind of extraterrestrial properties it'll have. With all these electrons and earthquakes and crazy snowstorms, did y'all know that Argentina is now on fire? Seems like there's been fires all over the place, doesn't it? Again, I wonder why. Anyways, if you didn't get snow, you probably will this time. Let me know your thoughts below.
World largest battery plant is on fire in Central California. As y'all can see from the pictures that's behind me, this is when it started. All residents that are in close proximity to this area are being urged to evacuate immediately. They are saying they don't even know what caused the fire, y'all. How the hell they don't know what caused the fire? Like, come on now. This shit crazy, fool. 1 + 1 is 2. I know what happened. Do you? I'm really just stuck on how the hell they don't know how the fire started. It wasn't about a wildfire. Look at this shit, y'all. That motherfucker burning. But as they say, they don't know how. Yeah, they don't know how. The joint just magically caught on fire. If you're in the area, make sure you evacuate, though. You don't want to breathe in them fumes.
I have to show you guys something. This is a family-size box of Special K, right? See the scale of this thing? It's a pretty sizable box. That's how much cereal's in it. Just to give you guys a comparison, that's how much cereal actually comes in a family-sized portion. I'd say this is a good 4 bowls, 5 bowls maybe? Fucking criminal.
Animals that were rediscovered after they were believed to be extinct.
Wow.
Coelacanth, extinct 66 million years ago, rediscovered in 1938. Vietnamese mouse deer, extinct in 1990, rediscovered in 2019.
What the hell? It's tiny.
Pheasant pigeon, extinct in 1882. Rediscover in 2022. Takahi bird, extinct in 1898. Rediscover in 1948. Fernandina Island tortoise, extinct in 1906. Rediscover in 2019.
Ana. Indians named it Santana, the devil wind. When it blows, plants wither, trees and brush become crackling dry. It is during this unstable period that firemen most fear the potential. The potential of 134 square miles of thick, dry chaparral and oak, all within the city boundaries of Los Angeles. On the morning of November 6, 1961, fire department dispatchers find conditions far from the best. Santa Ana winds are strong, gusty. Humidity and moisture content of the brush rock bottom. Fire danger extreme. At 8:15, an alert of fire is relayed to the officer in command of mountain firefighting units.
Mountain Patrol and all units concerned. They reported brush fire in the mountain area, 3,600 blocks.
You can't believe what the food industry is telling you. Whatever it says on the package, believe the opposite, because they have an incentive to put wrong stuff on the package. And I'm part of, numerous lawsuits suing the food industry for deceptive advertising, misbranding, mislabeling. 70% of all of the items in the American grocery store are misbranded or mislabeled. They say no added sugar, but in fact they put in apple puree or raspberry puree or evaporated cane juice. There are 262 names for sugar, and the food industry uses all of them.
Sugar, alcohol.
And so they will say that something's no added sugar, but that in fact is actually not the case. If they say something is healthy, it's usually the opposite.
Yeah, make that make sense. One number looks like somebody's getting real rich off that. And the other number's like, we're going to lose this money, but we got to do something. Right? I mean, look at the big gap between those numbers. Huge gap. Gap you can't even fathom between those two numbers. And one's for the people, and one's for people that are already rich.
After Woody Harrelson had that monologue on SNL.
So the movie goes like this. The biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes, and people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw the script away. I mean, who is going to believe that crazy idea?
Right after it, the next day, there's all these hit pieces calling him an anti-vaxxer and a stoner when he makes that joke and he talks about them buying all the media, and then all the media responds as if they've been bought and paid for. That's pretty wild.
I think Oprah is a witch. I think she could care less about anything or anyone. I think the only thing she cares about is being thin and beautiful consistently before she dies. And I think it would be nice if her and Gail could come out of the closet. I think that would make her happy.
I did the gossip column in Chicago for years, and Oprah did the show there every week, and so I was at a decent amount of events with Oprah, or if I wasn't at the event, I had someone there cover it. Every time she goes to a big event, she always takes her husband and Gail. Like, it's always the three of them. Gail never brings a date.
Have you seen her?
Gail or Oprah?
Gail and Oprah.
Yeah,
I don't want to date either one of them. Stedman has a very, very, very interesting history himself, but nobody really talks about where he came from. He doesn't even really talk about his childhood that much. Stedman is from Ghoulstown. You know what that town is known for?
Witchcraft?
Inbreeding and witchcraft.
Tim Tebow, remember when he was playing in college, he put the 316 under his eyes? for John 3:16. And of course, NCAA said you can't do that. No religious monikers on your person. And he was, okay, I'll be obedient to the league. And then 3 years later to the day, he was playing. Publicist comes up to him at the end of the game. He has a video of it. It's amazing. He's like, do you know what today is? He's like, whatever the date is. He's like, no, but it's more than that. This is the 3-year anniversary when you put John 3:16 on your eyes. And let me just tell you what happened. And there were like a dozen stats on that game. Every one of them was 3:16. And that day, it was the most Googled thing the week was John 3:16 on the 3-year anniversary.
Our PR guy steps in front of me. He says, Timmy, did you realize what happened? And I was like, yeah, we just beat the Steelers. We're going to play the Patriots. Like, let me do this. He was like, Timmy, did you realize what happened? I could tell he was being serious. So I was like, Patrick, what's up, man? He looks at me and says, Timmy, this is exactly 3 years from the time you put John 3:16 into your eyes. I was like, oh, really? That's awesome. That's really cool. He says, no, you don't realize. During the game, you threw for 316 yards. Your yards per rush were 3.16. Your yards per completion were 31.6. The time of possession was 31.06. And the ratings for the night were 31.6. And during the game, 90 million people Googled John 3:16, and it's the #1 thing on all social media right now.
Insane. Anyways, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. Did a little different today if anybody picked up on it. I hope you guys like it. My last video, I got a couple comments. You guys didn't even realize that was me in the thumbnail. Man, that was a clean thumbnail. I tried to switch things up. I went from like 1, 2, 3 out of 10 straight to 10 out of 10 switching up the thumbnail. I guess you guys just didn't realize that was me in the thumbnail, but that was me, y'all. The picture, the most recent video is gonna pop up here for you guys if you want to check it out. You guys might have missed it, but anyways, y'all, I got a lot to do. We got a baby coming on Tuesday. I got to help my lady disinfect this house because I've been sick. I got to clean my 2 vehicles. I got to clean my barbecue grill. I got to clean my beta tank. I got a lot to do today. It's ugly outside. It's windy. It's cold. So things got to get done, y'all. So I hope everyone out there has a good Saturday. I'm going to see you guys on Sunday. Sunday and Monday are going to be some busy days. I got to bang out some videos because I'm probably not going to post. I'll have uploads for you guys, but I'm not going to post a new video probably till Thursday or Friday. So you guys might be getting some content that's like, man, this is kind of old news. Like today's video was supposed to be up yesterday, and it's crazy how quick the news changes when you're doing these TikToks. So yeah, but stick around for tomorrow's video. It's going to be a good one, y'all. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. I got to remember to say this in the beginning of my videos so I get a lot of comments saying stuff, and this is for entertainment purposes only, y'all. Don't believe anything. And this is just to entertain you guys on a Saturday. If you guys want, go do your research out there, y'all. But I'm just here putting together some good videos and giving my input on it. I got to save that for the beginning of the video. But anyways, this is Segovia signing out of the man cave. I'm going to see you guys on the next one, y'all. Later.